I've got. But somehow I feel the kind of methods they tell, I couldn't relate to them, like reading the passage, skimming through the passage, or reading the first line, the last line of every passage, which will tell you the tone of the passage, or which will help you to solve the tone of the passage questions or primary purpose of the passage. Someday I was not able to relate to them, because that is not the case. That's where, you may sometimes get it, or you may not sometimes, it is again, I didn't find any structured approach for RC. Although I felt that nobody can teach you RC. RC is something that you have to learn by yourself. But this course really helped me in terms of getting into the fact that you need to get involved. So that's the key. So I would definitely rate this course high of the material that I've used, for sure.
I just think Kaplan is pretty dull. I mean, it doesn't have much content. e-GMAT was good. When I read it, I know I felt confident, but the thing that separates you from anyone else is because he actually shows how to do stuff. So that's what is missing in most of these things. And especially what I liked about RC is the process where you ask us to think before we read, and I think that makes the big difference between everything. Because we know that if there's an inference question, these are the most probable types of questions that we can get. So that part really helped. I didn't see such detail in e-GMAT. Prior to this, I had Manhattan GMAT RC book. That's it.
Okay.
I read that book, and one more thing, I took Princeton review classes here.
Okay.
So basically, that is one of the instructors from that Princeton course. They taught us one of the strategy using how to deal RC questions, but that strategy didn't work, and eventually I had to come up with my own strategy. That was like read the whole passage and then answer the questions. In terms of approaching the passage, frankly speaking, after reading Manhattan's book, I was not able to figure out what should I do for the passages.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not having any strategy set in my mind that I should approach the passage with this kind of framework. That framework was not set in my mind after reading that book. So after going through the course, this thing was so that I knew how to tackle the passages, all the passages. There's a proper framework. You have to apply that framework and come up with the passage summary, and then use that passage summary to solve all the questions. So it's you have to get that passage summary. Without that passage summary, you won't be able to solve those questions, which, frankly speaking, I didn't got anywhere on reading any book. This thing was not there in any